The Kansas City Chiefs offense has evolved from its once explosive, fearsome approach to a more methodical and consistent style that's hard to derail. On Monday night, the Chiefs converted 12 of 18 third down attempts thanks to Patrick Mahomes' unique playmaking ability. Mahomes also connected 14 times with Travis Kelce, racking up 100 yards. Even after tweaking his ankle on the Pirine touchdown, Mahomes kept the offense moving at a slower but effective pace. This deliberate approach paid off as the Chiefs dominated on the ground with a long, grinding drive that chewed up 8 minutes and 26 seconds of game clock and ended with a 4-yard slant to DeAndre Hopkins for a go-ahead touchdown. When the Chiefs got the ball in overtime, everyone expected the same formula: a slow, physical drive powered by Kareem Hunt's tough runs and accurate short to intermediate passes. The final 2 plays, a sharp pass to Kelce inside Tampa Bay's 5-yard line in a hard-earned 2-yard touchdown run by Hunt, capped off a victory that took the Chiefs to an 8-0 record. It may not be flashy, but through 9 weeks, Kansas City has shown they'll win on their terms, daring opponents to stop them. DeAndre Hopkins, who joined the Chiefs just over a week ago, made a significant impact Monday night after a quiet debut, catching 8 passes for 86 yards. He showcased his skill with a contested 35-yard catch between 2 defenders, setting up the Chiefs' first touchdown on a 1-yard Hopkins reception. Kansas City brought him in to provide Mahomes with a solid receiving option, and he delivered against the Buccaneers, giving Mahomes the reliable target that the wide receiver group lacked. His second score, a 5-yard slant at the goal line, looked inevitable. It's safe to say this trade has already paid off. While Mahomes steals the spotlight, Kansas City's defense under Steve Spagnuolo has been a critical component of their recent success. Usually a solid unit, the defense showed some weaknesses Monday night, struggling to pressure Mayfield and allowing the Buccaneers to drive in the final minute of regulation. Still, they limited Tampa Bay's rushing attack to under 100 yards and held the team to under 300 yards on a rainy night at Arrowhead. The defense forced 2 punts after Tampa Bay took a 17-10 lead, giving the Chiefs chances to tie and eventually win. However, the unit was less dominant than usual, with Mayfield finding open targets on out routes and maintaining momentum with passes to Otton. Despite the win, the Chiefs defense will likely use this game as a learning experience, focusing on tightening things up for future matchups. The Kansas City Chiefs head into their 9th game of the season with an undefeated record for the 3rd time in franchise history. 4 of their 8 wins have come against teams with records at 500 or better, including Monday night's win over the Buccaneers. Under Andy Reid, this marks the 5th time the Chiefs have put together a single season winning streak of at least 8 games. They have now won 14 straight games since the loss to Las Vegas in Week 16 of last season. This streak is not only the longest in franchise history, but also the longest for any NFL team since the 2015 Panthers started their season with 14 straight wins. It's tied for the 12th longest streak in NFL history, 7 wins shy of the record 21-game streak held by the 2003 and 4 New England Patriots. In their overtime victory on Monday, Kareem Hunt powered ahead for a 2-yard touchdown, capping a 10-play, 70-yard drive. Hunt contributed 27 yards on that drive, while Travis Kelce and DeAndre Hopkins also made key plays with 26 and 15 receiving yards. Mahomes completed all 5 of his passes on the drive for 52 yards. Hopkins had a stellar performance in his Arrowhead debut, recording 8 receptions for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns, both on 3rd down. 5 of his catches moved the chains, including a 35-yard grab through triple coverage on 3rd and 8, setting up his first touchdown. According to Next Gen Stats, that catch only had a 12.3% completion probability. Hopkins also became the first Chiefs player this season with multiple receiving touchdowns in a single game. Kelce was equally impressive with a career-high 14 catches for 100 yards, 6 of which resulted in first downs. He moved into 3rd place for most career receptions by a tight end, surpassing Antonio Gates and trailing only Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten. Together, Kelce and Hopkins combined for 22 catches, 186 yards, 11 first downs, and 2 touchdowns. Mahomes finished with 34 completions on 44 attempts for 291 yards and 3 touchdowns, marking his 39th regular season game with at least 3 touchdown passes, the most in the NFL since 2018. He also improved to 6-0 in overtime games. Hunt was a workhorse, rushing for 106 yards on 27 carries, forcing 3 missed tackles, and gaining 64 yards after contact. Over his last 4 games, he's amassed 345 rushes rushing yards on 20 or more carries each game. Defensively, Kansas City held the Buccaneers to 24 points, extending their streak to 29 straight games of holding opponents under 28 points. Since Week 7, the Chiefs have excelled on third downs, converting 32 of 48 attempts and scoring touchdowns on 85% of their red zone trips. These efforts have resulted in an average of 28.3 points per game over the last 3 weeks, ranking 6th in the NFL. Mahomes alone completed 11 of 13 third down attempts on Monday for 126 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 10 first downs. After trailing by a touchdown late in the third quarter, Kansas City rallied to score 14 unanswered points and secure their 8th consecutive comeback win in games where they trailed in the second half. According to OptaStats, this is the longest such streak in NFL history. Mahomes connected on his first pass of 20 or more air yards since Week 4 with a 35-yard throw to Hopkins in the first half, though it ended up being his only completion of over 20 air yards. Mahomes also faced heavy pressure, taking 4 sacks. Kareem Hunt struggled early with just 16 rushing yards on 7 carries in the first half. However, he turned things around on Kansas City's game-tying drive, rushing 7 times for 47 yards to level the score at 17-7 with 14 minutes left. Hunt finished the game with 27 carries for 106 yards, including the game-winning touchdown. In a thrilling Week 9 overtime victory over the Buccaneers, Patrick Mahomes gave Chiefs fans a scare after sustaining an injury that briefly slowed him down and required some attention. He soon returned to the game, guiding Kansas City to a victory with an impressive performance, completing 34 of 44 passes for 291 yards and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions. Following the win, Mahomes provided an update on his condition, explaining that he had rolled the same ankle he previously injured. However, he assured fans he would receive treatment and be ready for Week 10 against the Broncos. The Chiefs' offense overall had one of their best games of the season, and those who were saying Travis Kelce is washed are being quiet now. Travis Kelce and DeAndre Hopkins were going back and forth, consistently moving the chains down the field. Throughout the game, Mahomes consistently went back to both of them, and they came through every single time. Kelce had his best game of the season, and so did DeAndre Hopkins, and both of them are the oldest players on this offense. Mahomes also did it with Juju. Juju had a great game earlier in primetime this season, and that's what Andy Reid and the rest of this team is doing. They're putting the right guys in the right places, and they're doing everything that they have to do to win this championship. The Chiefs want to three-peat, and Brett Veach and the rest of the staff are doing exactly what they need to do to get to the right step. Trading for DeAndre Hopkins was easily the best move of the deadline. Brett Veach got him for basically nothing as well. It's going to pay off and practically already has already. He's going to fit right in with this offense, and we saw him already go into that Rashee Rice role and do exactly what he was doing, getting first downs and getting good yardage after the catch. He's a good 50-50 ball receiver as well. We saw him with that crazy catch on 3 defenders. I was at the game as well. The energy was electric as always, but when Mahomes went down, it truthfully was so scary. Let me know what you guys think so far of the Chiefs season. I don't want to say it, but the rest of the schedule looks pretty good. Let me know what you guys think of what's going to happen the rest of the season. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, make sure you go down below and you subscribe and you turn the notification bell on so you never miss a Chiefs video or any video at all. Leave a like as well. I greatly do appreciate it, and I'll see y'all on the next one.